Good morning, everyone. Yesterday was a crazy day. This morning has been a crazy morning, but I want to do the last video that I have for this graphic, which is about autistic autistic burnout. I'm sorry, we did shutdown yesterday and autistic meltdown the day before. Today we're going to talk about autistic burnout. What I've seen, what I have gone through, how I can support myself, and how can my partner make sure I'm supported while they're going through the burnout and coming out of their burnout. Okay, I just want to shrink myself so you guys can read that part. Also, autistic burnout, when our brain shuts down because of continual stress, which can last from days to years. Okay, autistic burnout. So we experienced this recently at a level that we have never experienced before. We believe that he had burnout before, but never at this level. And this will probably take quite a few months, if not maybe a whole year, for him to be fully himself again, because he was pretty strong. He had to sleep for a few days, literally sleep for a few days, and only wake up to maybe have a meal and drink some water, which he actually didn't drink enough water, and that he's gonna manage that a little bit better if he ever goes through this again, and I will help him manage this a little bit better if he ever goes through this again. So very important, if your autistic partner goes through autistic burnout and they do have to really seclude themselves away from everyone and just sleep as much as they can for a few days, please make sure they're hydrated. Not because they're sleeping doesn't mean their body does not need water. Their body needs water. Our body needs water. And we don't want any other biological reaction to be happening because they were not hydrated enough. When it comes to the meal, just let them eat whenever they're hungry. They will wake up when they're hungry. They will be okay. But water is very important. Other things I've done to help him through this process is letting him sleep whatever he needs to sleep. And that can be any area of the home, and people need to accommodate their needs as much as possible in the moment. So if they just fell asleep in the living room, don't turn the TV on, send everybody outside or to their rooms to watch TV or read a book or something else. If possible, if you have drapes, close the drapes so there is the area is a little bit darker. It helps them with sleep and resting. And you just go and do the things you need to do and let them be, because they just need to rest. Now what happens to the partner? Similar to meltdown and shutdown, there is some distress there. There is a burden on carrying everything that needs to be done around the household and with children and for yourself. So there is some burden there. What can you do if it came out of nowhere and you guys didn't even know what was happening, that he was about to get into this, right? Because people that track their symptoms are able to recognize when they're going into meltdowns, when they're going into shutdowns, and then when they're going into burnout. So if your partner is able to recognize those things, make sure that the two of you sit down and put the parameters or get the services that you might need to help you, whether that be drivers to pick up children from school, or people that can help with homework, or people that can come and clean the house while you're doing other things, or and then if you are a working mom, make sure that you communicate to your employer what's happening within your household so they can be a little bit flexible with you. I know nobody has a job where that's possible, but for those who do have the capacity and their jobs allow them to do certain accommodations when needed, by all means take advantage of that, because you're gonna need it and it's gonna help you not to get on burnout, right? Because what you don't want is while your partner is on burnout and then you get burnout. That will be a very impossible situation to live through. So if you're able to catch it before it actually happens and you know it's coming, make sure you set parameters, boundaries, and services ready to go for when you need them. If it came out of nowhere and you're struggling, sometimes you just have to let things go. Let things go. Forget if the dogs are clean. Forget if the laundry is ironed. Forget if their floor is dirty. Certain things just have to be put on pause until you're ready to take them on again. Nobody's gonna die because they had to go to school without their uniforms ironed. Nobody's gonna die because the floor is dirty. And at this point in a situation like that, you're kind of in survival mode. And what you want to do is to keep the household as peaceful as possible. Not only for the person that is recovering, but for yourself and for the children. They need a peaceful home and a peaceful parent more than they need a clean floor or iron clothes. And that's just it. It's not perfect, but again, you're in a process that is very hard and that you're trying to conserve your energy so that you can last as long as you can while your partner is getting out of their burnout. As similar to shutdown and meltdown, if you're already in therapy and you're doing counseling, by all means, talk about this with your counselor. Your counselor should be a therapist that is knowledgeable on autism, so that they can fully understand what you're going through and they can give you the right tools and resources to go through this and come out of the other end just as you are, if not better and not broken. It can be very stressful, so manage your stress. Just, it is what it is. It will be stressful. And that's why I'm saying that some things just have to be put on pause, especially if you don't have a lot of a support system around you. If you have a support system around you, by all means, take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. People who love you are going to want to be there for you when you need them. And I know that sometimes when people are going on burnout, they want to be private about it. Their autistic partner needs to understand that their non-autistic partner needs support. And for that support to show up, they cannot keep this private. Nobody's going to look down on them. If they love them, and these are people that should be in your life, nobody's going to be looking down on you guys. Whoever looks down on this situation shouldn't be in your life. And that's just it. Because this is not something that is going to get cured. And this is something that is going to need continuous management. And you need people that are only loving to your family. So set up your boundaries, set up your resources and your services, and make sure that you use them as much as possible. You want to conserve your energy and your patience. If you get tired, you're going to be more irritable. If you're more irritable, you're not going to be as nice, and the household is not going to feel as peaceful. And at the end of the day, somebody's recovering, you're picking up what needs to be picked up, and the children still need a space where they feel safe emotionally and physically. I hope this helped. I know it can sound a little bit vague if you haven't been through it, but just if you take anything out of this video is that if you can prepare, know exactly what your boundaries are and what the services you're gonna need and can pay for. If you have support system, use them. If your support system is not adequate, they don't need to be in your life, at least not in this moment. And that will definitely make your life easier, because the last thing you want is for your support system to be looking down on you or making the situation worse. If you have any questions, comments, post them below. If there are questions I can answer, I will. And I wish you all the best.